Welcome to the Empowered Embodiment Revolution, where women leaders reveal how to liberate yourself from body battles so you can follow your heart, own your power, and shine in the world. I'm Darlene Downing, and I am your host for this event. And I am excited to be here with you today. And today I get to be interviewed by this sparkling, dazzling, and beautiful soul style coach, Eyenie Schultz. Eyenie is a dear, dear friend, sister. I am so blessed that she is in my universe and to know her. And Eyenie, I'm just so grateful that you have offered your time to be here and to interview me. So thank you.
It is my pleasure because you have so much magic and such a beautiful story and just all this wow to share that I'm excited that you're going to be on the other side, really, sharing all of that with everyone, with the listeners, with me. I'm excited to learn from you, and I'm just really grateful and honored. So thank you.
Yay!
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and you're in the expert seat now, and I'm going to go ahead and tell the audience a little bit more about you, if that's okay.
Sure.
All right.
I'm not an expert, though.
You are a light being with some magic to share. So 9 years ago, my beautiful friend Darlene was living the American dream, and it looked like she had it all. Thin, attractive, financial security, a beautiful family and home, but she was literally dying on the inside. She was deeply unhappy and she was feeling trapped by the facade of perfection she had created. She was exhausted from the battle to force her body to look a certain way so that she could feel good about herself, wondering if living in a body was really supposed to be this hard. This began her quest to courageously question and seek answers for what happens in a body and life felt like for her. In her return to wholeness, she went beyond mainstream thought, diving deep into personal development, somatic movement, energy work, spiritual healing, and consciousness-expanding modalities. She has taken back her power to trust and work in partnership with her unique body, and as a result, her marriage, friendships, and sacred service have flourished as she's transformed her body relationship and ultimately the relationship she has with herself. Darlene is a body relationship mentor and coach to passionate, mission-driven women who want to create a body that powerfully serves them in their business and life. And she loves helping women create the body confidence, radiance, and vitality that deeply supports them in their sacred service while guiding them back to the joy and pleasure of embodiment. She feels well-being is our natural birthright, and through her programs and offerings, she provides tools and mentorship that guide you back to your own body's wisdom so that you simply and joyfully create a body that's a potent contribution to your business and your life. Yay! So I'm excited to get into this. That's an amazing, amazing background and mission. I love that.
Thank you. Thank you. It's from my heart, and it's what I'm here to do, and yeah, and this is a topic I love, so I'm so excited to be talking about it.
Yes, and I'm excited to get your perspective on this because it's a huge topic. So just so everyone knows, today we're going to be diving into some juiciness. So here's what we're going to be chatting about with Darlene to really, get her amazing insight. We're going to learn from her how to unplug from external messages that tell you that there's something wrong with your body so you can get back in touch with your personal experience of your body. We're going to walk through the joyful embodiment path. Ooh, I'm excited to learn about that. And we're going to find out what supports you and your body best so that you can remain open to more pleasure and expansion and joy and all of that good stuff. So let's jump right in, Darlene.
Let's do it.
Yes, so I think the first question to ask is, how do you define empowered embodiment?
Well, I love this question, and I've really been exploring it a lot with this summit. That is really how this summit has evolved. And so my definition of empowered embodiment has evolved too. So I guess where I'd like to start is what empowered embodiment is not for me, and how I've just made the discoveries that I have on the journey, and just what's unfolded. It used to be for me to feel empowered in my body. I thought that it needed to look a certain way. I needed to be a certain weight. I needed to present myself to the world in a certain way. And what I've discovered on this journey is that looking great and feeling great are awesome, and that's not the whole deal. To really enjoy your body and to experience the best life that you can while you're here on the planet. So to me, empowered embodiment is having access to all of me, that I'm a multi-dimensional being. I am a physical body, a mental body, emotional body, and a spiritual body. And to have balance with all of those. And we'll get into this a little later in my own personal story with my body journey. I was definitely out of balance, and that is not empowered embodiment from my definition right now. So it's being in balance and having access to all of those parts of me, and being able to experience all of life and hold a space of curiosity there rather than judgment, being shut down in judgment. So, empowered embodiment is making the most of this beautiful vehicle that we're given, so that our beautiful essence, the divine spirit that we are, can play on this planet, can explore, can evolve and grow, and just savor the journey, really. So that's really, what I'll say about that now. I'm sure more of it will probably come up in the conversation, but yeah, that's my definition at this place in my evolution.
Yes. And I love that, the part about allowing yourself to experience all facets, all depths and levels of yourself. That's beautiful, and that's big. So I would love for you to share, briefly some of your personal body story with us.
Sure. Yeah, I will. And it feels great to be able to share this. And also, as I reflect on it and where I am on my journey now with my body as to where I was before, I have so much gratitude for where I am and where I've come. And I just want to say, too, to anyone listening, that if you're resonating with where I was in my body story, that I just want you to know that it can totally change, and that there's other possibilities beyond that. And if my story is helpful in some way, that's really what I would, I hope to do. But basically, my body story was all about focusing on the outside for self-validation, for self-love, for self-worth. And there was also distrust with my body. I am a sexual abuse thriver, and so going through that experience when I was younger really had me be in a space where I didn't trust my body. It responded in ways that I didn't feel it should have. I felt guilty. I felt shame around that. So that created this distrust from an early age. And then as I went out in the world and got programmed with all of the conditioning that's out there on the messages that we receive about what a successful body would be, focusing on my weight, focusing on my looks, and so that I was always looking outside, externally.
And it's easy to do that because we have so many factors bombarding us constantly, don't we?
Yeah.
Especially when we're vulnerable.
Yes, yes. And, I don't blame myself for that. It was just, and if anyone is in that space, there's no blame or judgment there. It's really so prevalent. And when we're plugged into all of those messages, which this is about unplugging from that, when you're plugged into that, that's what you feel is true. And that's the way you show up in life. So anyway, that was my focus. Like, how can I get my body to, look the way that it's supposed to look so I can feel good about myself? And I did the crazy diets and spent a lot of energy and time worried about what other people thought about how I looked. And as I got older, I discovered that I could have some control with my body. Like, I could change how I was eating. I could change like moving my body, and I actually became successful with mainstreams thought on what your body should look like. And so that worked for me for a while. Like I lost weight. Everybody would compliment me on my physique. How are you doing it? All that stuff, right? But what happened was, it was about 9 years ago. I remember this just so clearly. I was in the bathroom. I had just gotten on the scale again, totally micromanaging my body, right? Like if I didn't exercise one day, I would totally freak out. I had this concept that if I didn't worry about my weight and about how my body looked all the time, then it would just get out of control. And that goes back to that lack of trust with my body, that I talked about before. And it was really bad. Like I had exercise bulimia, I guess you would call it, where I just felt like I couldn't miss a day.
Yeah.
And I injured myself. I almost completely tore my plantar fasciitis. So I had plantar fasciitis, this tendon that was in my foot, and I could not give up running. I was running at the time, and so I would run through the pain. I would run through the injury, and the doctor that I was seeing at the time said, "Oh, let's just have a cortisone shot and it'll be all better." And I was like, "Oh, great, because then I can still run." I couldn't stand the idea of not running. And this injury went on for 8 months, and I almost completely tore it, and finally had to put a cast on my foot. But that gives you an idea of where I was mentally. So on the outside, oh yeah, it looked great. I was thin, I was fit. But on the inside, I was tormented by this thought that if I didn't work out one day and if I didn't really micromanage my body, it was just going to be a disaster. So anyway, getting back to that time in the bathroom that day, there was a lot of other things going on. I was really at a crossroads in my life, and my body and my relationship with my body was part of it, because I feel like how you do one thing is typically how you do a lot of other things in your life.
Yes.
All about the control, and the micromanaging. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. How much longer can I keep this up? I can't do this anymore. And what would happen if I gave up this incessant worry about my body and feeling like I had to work out every day and I had to weigh a certain weight to feel good about myself? And I said, it's too much. I can't do it anymore. What else is possible? And I didn't realize it at the time, but that question, what else is possible? Like, is there something possible for me and my body and how I feel about myself? Can I be at peace? That was the beginning of opening up a whole new world for me, a whole new way of thinking about my body, perceiving my body, being with my body. And you shared, I dove into somatic movement, into body awareness. That led to energy healing, and what I found was that my body wasn't the problem. It was how I was perceiving my body, and that I was really asking my body to make me feel good about myself, and that's not my body's job. my body's job is to allow me to function on Earth, and is supported by me allowing her to do her job, which is to stay in balance. And it's not to make me feel good about myself. And that was just a huge aha. And when I had that, this awareness, it didn't come overnight. This has been years of exploration and trying all different kinds of things. But yeah, it's returned me back to this knowing that I'm much more than my body, and my body is an integral part of my experience here.
Yeah, because do you think in that time, like when you think back, it sounds to me based on what you were saying that maybe there was a disconnect.
Oh,
it's like
totally.
Your inside and your outside was disconnected with that.
Yeah, well, I was very connected in focusing on my body, but it was coming from an external I was focused on it based on what other people were telling me it should be. And also, I was very much in my head. I was not connected to what I was sensing in my body, aware of energy at all. I am creative visionary and I love being in my head and was not grounded in my body. Although I will say that the exercise was very supportive in grounding me in this physical reality. And I was very successful in manifesting things in my life, you know, but it was from this space of ultra control.
Right.
I was disconnected from how I could work with my body.
Hmm. And this whole notion of control, and we've talked a little bit about this before, that's why I want to bring it up a little bit. It sounds like you were very much, as far as your exercise routine and the control factor and all of this and the discipline, you were very much living maybe in your masculine.
Absolutely, totally. And you
Right.
know, that's really very prevalent in our society right now. That is how you get things done, you know. And I'm gonna get it done, and I'm gonna make it happen. You know? Yeah,
Checking
but
things off my list, and yeah.
yeah, and it worked to a point. But what really happened was my body was on adrenal overload. You know, when I really tapped into what was I was experiencing in my body, you know, I noticed how I would push through the pain when I was exercising, like, oh, just get into the you know, like I didn't even think I
Just get
talked to
over it.
anybody. Yeah, just get over
Yeah.
it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love this that you had that day where you said, where you asked that question. It sounds like you got like a divine download, as they say, right? You got a mega hit when, the what else is possible, and that sort of, that was that pivotal moment. So, how would you suggest somebody maybe who is in a place right now where they're frustrated, they're not really feeling good, they have no idea what to do, or maybe they have an idea but they don't know how to get started? How do you suggest, we begin our own personal journey toward, experiencing our bodies and being joyful about our bodies?
Sure. I'll share with you what worked for me, and
Mhm.
what needed to happen at that time when I got that what else is possible. And this is where we're going with this talk, is to unplug from the mainstream matrix, really. I stopped watching TV. I became very mindful of what energy I allowed into my field with external messages. So I unplugged as much as possible from that.
Wow.
And I started exploring internally, asking questions of myself and doing some personal development work on what is it that I want? What is it that I feel? What is it that I believe? What do I want to create? Not what's out here, you know? Is that true for me? Is it true for me? So for anyone who's at that place where they feel like they have to be measuring up to what's prevalent right now with successful body creation, get unplug as much as possible so that you can get into your own space again. Because what happens is when we're plugged in out here so much, we don't even know what we think anymore or how we feel. True at our
Right.
core. We're just confused, you know? And I mean, this goes on in lots of different areas and bodies for sure. So, I mean, people
Absolutely.
tell you, like, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this. So, as much as you can, unplug from that and get back inside and get to know yourself first and how you feel about it.
Yes, I love that. That's beautiful, and because it's kind of a coming home in a way, right? A remembrance, coming back to your own, to your core, like you said. And and I love the asking questions, asking those questions. Is this true for me? Does this feel good? I love that you do that. Asking those powerful questions, because what an amazing way to get to the crux of you, right? Of your beliefs and of what's right for you. And what are some ways that you did that also? I mean, was it journaling, meditation, or just, as a daily? Can you share some of like your actual, like the tools that you use to do that, to go inward?
Oh, sure. I started with my mind first. That was the piece that, you know, was really, that's where I was hanging out. So that's where it started. So journaling, definitely. Reading a ton of personal development books exploring spirituality. I was not aware that I was more than my body, and that that exploring spirituality and getting the internal guidance of what was true for me there. And then that led into becoming a NIA practitioner and a teacher and somatic movement. And what was brilliant about that was tapping into information beyond my thinking mind, beyond what all of the judgments and all of the conclusions that were going on up here, and allowing my body to give me access to information beyond that. So it brought me back home in my body, literally, by being present in my body and sensing. And so I feel like that was supportive in bringing me in the present moment. What's true for me now? What am I experiencing now? So anyone that is starting on this path, yes, journaling is awesome. Reaching out to mentors to support you. And my mentors were books, and then they became teachers in somatic movement. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And I love joyful embodiment. I love that, just the thought of that. And can you tell us more about joyful embodiment and that path and how that supports us in really enjoying our bodies again?
I would love to. Joyful bodies are a passion of mine. Well, and I think, like, contemplate, what would the world be like if it was filled with joyful bodies on the planet, right?
Oh.
Yeah, and then joy, and I just want to preface with what joy is to me, and it's not enjoyment. It's something more than that. It's this aliveness within you. It is this life force energy that is pulsing in every cell of your being that has you just, wanting to get out and explore and play and engage in life. And that can be, it can support any emotion. It can support happiness, and it also holds a space for sadness, and it holds a space for the whole range of emotions. It doesn't shut out any emotion. It gives you access to all emotions. Just because that, when you say, I love hanging out and woohoo, like, that's my natural tendency.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me, and it can be too much for some people. It's just me, though, and I'm okay with being that way, and yeah. So that's another conversation. But for me to be in that space of really just showing up in my life and being open to all of life and moving through it, it began with connecting to my body. And how I feel this is supportive for a lot of people, in the sense that we're so brilliant with our minds and we're in our head so much and we're not in our body. So if you're wanting to play with accessing more information that can support you, then I invite you to drop in and connect with your body on a regular basis. Checking in and sensing what's going on, getting to know your own energy and getting to know what's present for you in that moment. It's an awareness that can expand out to tap into the entire universe. I kind of look at it like our body is the best way to put it, like a tuning fork. Our body's a tuning fork.
I love that.
Yeah, so when we're connected to our body, we're tuned in to what we're creating inside, and we're also tuned into the environment around us, and we have access to the information beyond our thinking mind, guidance, source energy. Yeah, it's really cool. So that would be the first thing, is connect. And just in your own personal space, connecting, like, wow, are my shoulders tight? What does that mean? Do I just need to relax a little bit more, or am I holding my breath? And do I feel centered, or do I feel scattered all over the place? Like, where am I? You know, just creating that relation of connecting to the body. And the body really appreciates that. The body loves,
That awareness.
please, I'm here. Pay attention, you know.
Remember me. Yeah.
I'm here to support you. And
Yeah.
and then from connecting, getting curious. What am I
Mm.
experiencing right now? Am I relaxed? Am I bored? Am I tense? Am I excited? You know,
Mhm.
what is that? And then choosing is the next piece. Okay,
Mhm.
so here's where I am. Is this, do I want to stay here and play here? Or do I want to choose something else? And and that choice, you know, it can be from moment to moment.
Yeah. So it's connect,
Curious,
yeah, so connection, curiosity, yeah, connect, curious, and then choose.
right.
And what do you call that, just as a handy dandy little reminder for all of us?
The three C's. That's all I've come up with right now. I'm open to
Hey.
inspiration on how I can, yeah, juice that up a little bit more. But when
But I
you do,
love that.
yeah, when you do that consistently, it really expands your world. It's expanded my world, how I experience my body, the information that I can receive, how I can continue to make another choice, and my body is now a partner in my journey. She's giving me information on where I am and
Mm.
what's in my and and it goes. We could talk about this for a long time, but it does start internally with where am I, and then it also is what am I sensing outside of me. We are
Right.
energetic beings, you know, so we're not only, it's not only what we're sensing internally, but also in our environment and in the collective consciousness.
Mm. I love that. So you're basically, is it sort of like you're tapping into yourself and connecting with yourself so you can then connect with the universe, be tapped into the universe? It's sort of like that. It's like a turnkey kind of, am I getting this right?
Yeah, that's my awareness at this point,
I
and
love it.
yeah, and
But that makes sense, right? I
yeah,
love that. And thank you for that reminder of, when you do the three C's, you're sort of going through this process to ultimately then decide what you're choosing, because I think that's something I know I could use reminding of on a daily basis multiple times. You can choose something different. If this doesn't feel good, if my body's telling me this, I can choose something different. So I love that. Thank you. The three C's. I think that's like that will stick. I love that. Um, so
welcome.
yay! And what do you do on those days where maybe where you're not, really feeling the joy or the pleasure of embodiment? What do you do on those yuck days?
Yeah, and I have them, and as much as I've been on this journey and I've been practicing these three C's and all the, you know, these other modalities as well, I have my days, and so what I my evolving edge is to be practicing a lot of self-love and compassion for
Mm.
myself and for my body. And on those days, like, I'll just tell you this story. Well, I'll save that story, but I do want to tell you
Yeah,
that
I want to
story.
hear a good story, a
Um,
good Darlene story.
I wonder where that angst is coming from, or that discomfort, right? So if I'm not feeling great, is it a thought that I'm thinking? Am I do I have a judgment about how I look or how I feel, or how I'm showing up in the world? So judgment is going to stop the energy every time and make us stay in that lower vibration.
Mm.
So am I in my mental realm having a judgment? Emotionally, what am I experiencing? And I wonder how I could play with that. So like, if I'm in a lower emotion vibration, getting curious, and then I love to practice gratitude. I love questions, and I love practicing appreciation and gratitude. My tendency can be to always be looking forward and not be appreciating how far I've come and where I am on the journey. And the minute that I drop into appreciation and gratitude, and with my body in particular, what can I appreciate or be grateful about with my body? What's working great today? You know, being with my body, just grateful that my heart is beating, grateful that I have the ability to hug a loved one.
Yeah.
You know, all that my body does for me every day. I mean, she's truly a miracle. Thank God she's got God, the intelligence that she does, and the things that she does for me every day without me even giving it a second thought, and really,
Right. That we take for granted.
yeah, and also shifting my perspective that she's a sacred vessel that houses the divinity within.
Yes.
And would I treat a sacred vessel, would I abuse a sacred vessel with judgmental thoughts?
Oh, I love that. Can you repeat that? Would I abuse a sacred vessel with judgmental thoughts? Ah, that gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
She's a gift, and she is sacred, and
Mm.
she is equally as important as the spirit, the mind, and the emotions. It's all balanced, and so that really helps me. And that appreciation can just be stopping and hugging yourself,
Yeah.
or yeah, like, thank you, body.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here
Oh,
so I
I'm
can
gonna
play
do it
on this
too.
planet. Wow,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah,
Yeah. Even that can break a yuck, the yuck vibration. That feels nice. Yes.
yeah,
Okay. So the three C's and then self-compassion,
yes. And
right?
and yeah, and then it goes back to what we were talking about before, like when that judgment comes in, am I asking my body to do what my spirit is here to learn? Like, am I asking my body to make me feel good about myself when
Mm.
really I need to know that I am worthy and valuable as I am right now? And yes, there's other possibilities and more things to play with and to grow and to learn from. Am I asking my body to do that for me?
Mm.
That's not her job.
Right.
Yeah, so that's very, very helpful for me. And moving energy is great too. When I'm in a yuck place, um, for me, and I know you love to dance too, I can just
Yeah.
put music on. The music itself, that's going to lift your vibration and your mood right off the bat. And then
Oh,
move energy
yes.
around, just let yourself go crazy for a while in the privacy
Hmm.
of your own house.
Yeah. Because it is really amazing how it's all interconnected, right? How we can have different emotions by using our beautiful, amazing, sacred vessel of a body.
Yes. So it can come from the mental realm, it can come from the physical realm, just moving yourself to shift the energy, or the
Yeah.
emotional realm. What lifts your spirit? I have some videos that just make me so happy when I watch them. Um, what is his name? Is it Pharrell Williams? He has
Oh,
a
Pharrell Williams. Yes, Happy. That song, Happy. Yeah.
happy.
Na, 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 na. Yeah.
And that's helpful to dance too. But
Yes.
create your own personal toolbox for what it is that lifts you. And then if you've got those, then and when you have the awareness that you're in that lower vibration, pull out one of those tools that help you and choose it.
Yes.
And then ask and be curious, what else is possible? It's one of my
Mm.
favorite questions. Use questions like, what is it? What can I do with it? What else is possible?
Yes. Oh, and that just opens a whole beautiful world, a whole other realm, right?
Yeah.
And I love this. It sounds like you've come up with just some powerful magical tools that you use over and over that are sort of like, the solid foundation. So you've come a long way, and it's just amazing. So could you just to go back to, where you were before for someone maybe who's facing some of these challenges, but could you talk about one of the big body challenges that you experienced that maybe now you see as a gift or a superpower even?
Oh, yes. And it was so much fun playing with this and getting curious about it. I really feel that everything in life is a gift now. Everything that shows up, there's a blessing there in some way.
I,
And do you agree? Yeah.
oh, absolutely. Yes.
And seeing life from that place keeps me open. And so the thing that used to be to shut me down is I'm super sensitive to energy, to other people's energy. And that was created from a very early age. I briefly spoke that I went through sexual abuse and I had a very chaotic, dysfunctional childhood. And so I was on survival instinct mode, like, constantly, what's going to happen? Can I hide? Can I avoid this? There was a lot of turmoil in our family.
Yeah.
And so it made me highly attuned to other people's energy to protect myself, right? And I saw that as a curse because I would micromanage my life to make sure that other people were happy so that I could be happy because their energy was making me nuts. So I needed to make them happy so that I could be happy.
Oh, it sounds kind of exhausting. It makes sense, but it sounds exhausting.
Oh, yeah. Or I would run away, right?
Mm, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that was, it seemed like a curse. And I mean, it got me in that people pleasing
Yes.
paradigm.
Right.
How can I just make the world perfect out here so I can feel okay? And at the
And
time, I
make
didn't,
myself perfect to please everyone as well.
right, I've got to have that. Yeah, because I've got to create that so that then I'll get the response out here that feels okay to me. Yeah, the cycle,
Yes. Yeah.
So that was a curse, I thought. And now what I recognize is that it's actually this beautiful gift that I am so perceptive of. First, to get clear on my own energy, I am perceptive of what I am experiencing, and it's given me the discernment to know what's in my field. And it also gives me the discernment to know what's around me. And um, that's helped me in not taking on other people's energy. It's helped me create a clear boundaries and a clear energetic field for myself and my body. It's helped me clear out what was in my body that's no longer serving me. And it get this is something interesting I didn't even realize until I was contemplating it. Because I was so much in a people pleasing thing, I've created this automatic joy ability to get to joy really quickly, actually, because I am an
Ooh.
upbeat person, and that was created to try to make everybody else happy, right?
Come on.
I know, but the gift that it gave me was that my brain is so wired, and I know, I can get to that place really quickly, so I can shift my energy pretty fast because my brain knows how to get there. My journey has been choosing it for myself instead of choosing it to make other people happy, and also making the distinction of true joy, that it's present regardless of what it can be present when I choose it regardless of what's going on in my life.
Ooh.
So
That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah.
I love that. Those are pretty magical superpowers.
Yeah, I celebrate it now. And now that I've gotten more clarity on how to create boundaries, I don't feel like I have to run away, that I can hold in my own field that which I wish to experience. And I
Mm.
leave an invitation for other people to choose it. And I don't take in everything else that I'm feeling. And so that perception has been fine-tuned now so that it supports me in my life rather than feeling like I've got to micromanage or run away.
Right, and how powerful what you said a little bit ago about really discerning what energy was yours and what you were taking on from other people, because that's an amazing awareness to have, also an amazing tool, so that you're not lugging other people, you're not making other people's energy and the way they're feeling your responsibility too, right?
Yes, and I wanted to tell you the story I was
Oh yeah.
referencing before when you were asking like when you feel yuck, what do you do? Like how do you shift?
Yeah.
So I was at a party and in the neighborhood that I used to live in. We've recently moved. And I was feeling great before I went to this party. I was in a great space and place. And so somebody was going around at the party. I was sitting next to my husband, and somebody was going around taking pictures. And so she came over and took our picture, and then she was showing us how the picture looked. And I looked at the picture and said, "Oh my gosh, my arms look huge. They look so fat." And I was like, okay, and
Oh.
now, I mean, I have been on this journey of really appreciating my body for a while, and I was like, well, all of a sudden my energy just went, whoa, right? And I was like,
Yes.
total
Oh.
judgment, yeah. And I was like, where did that, like, what, I thought I was past that, right? So I used my tools and I pulled them out, and I'm using them, but I remained curious about it. And you know what I discovered?
What?
That was not my thought. That I was at a party with a lot of people who are still doing the whole validation through how they're seen externally. And that's not a judgment thing, it's just where they are on their journey, right?
Of course. Yeah.
I was perceiving other people's thoughts, and I thought it was mine.
Mm.
So,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that was not my thought to begin with. I was perceiving what was around me. And why I wanted to say that is that that's why this internal journey is so helpful, like getting clear on your energy and your body, and then knowing that we are all connected, and the more open you become, the more you pick up, like psychic sponges, or picking up
Yeah.
around us,
Yeah.
and that you might be having a judgmental thought that doesn't even belong to you.
Wow. So, and I mean, I love how you applied that to a real life situation, right?
Hmm.
And because you have those tools, you went through your own process to realize it wasn't yours. And then what happened after that? After you had that realization and you thought, okay, that doesn't even belong to me. What happened after that?
I was able to let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. I mean, at a party. So these are tools that can be used everywhere. Yeah. I love that you can just apply it at any given moment, and that if it's on your mental desktop, you do it.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. And so now you have this amazing business, and you're helping all these people in so many ways. And I was just wondering how your new body relationship has helped you to follow your heart to get where you are today.
Well, it gets back to what I was speaking of before, that she's a tuning fork for me, that she keeps me tapped into myself, what's going on in my body, and connects me to a higher intelligence beyond my thinking mind. So as I've
Mm.
dropped more into my body, I can sense when my heart is open and expanded. I know that that's energy that I want to move towards. And so there's been decisions that crossroads that I've come to, decisions that I've needed to make that my thinking mind said was totally illogical, made absolutely no sense, it was too much of a risk, or it was a waste of time. But my heart was saying, no, no, no. this is what you want to do, you know. So because I've been connected to that greater aspect of me, it's helped me trust and follow my heart in times when fear would have shut me down, my mind would have shut me down. It's allowed me to become more fully who I am. I mean, it's already there. It's just all of the stuff that was never really me has been able to leave my field so that I can express more of the divine within me. Yeah.
Yeah. And so obviously it's helped you be more in your power and even shine in the world. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, the fact that I'm even having this interview with you. I mean, the day that I told you that I was in the bathroom with that, you know, is being in a body supposed to be this difficult. My marriage was on the rocks. I was at the point of, I was considering suicide. I really didn't know if I wanted to hang around on this planet anymore. However, I knew there was this glimmer of like, you don't want to give up. You know, there's something more here for you. And to see that, to myself there at that place and where I am now having my own business. I was a stay-at-home mom with our girls, and my husband was in corporate America. My whole world was with them, you know, taking care of the family. And now I've started my own business. I'm supporting other women to be more connected with their body and create a new relationship with their body. I'm having this interview on a virtual stage. I mean, that would not have happened. I mean, that's all been part of coming home to myself and becoming who I truly am. So, and my body has guided me as that internal, connected me to that internal compass that connects me to the greater aspect of me to get me to this place.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, beautiful. And I love, just as you reference your body, how you say she. I love that because in my head, I say it, and just saying she really, something clicked for me hearing you say that. It just, you know, it just really resonates and reminds me anyway, that we are intermeshed. It's not, you know, me versus it. It's we're in this together. We're a team. So I love that you refer to your body as she, and that you're doing this work, and that you're here sharing your magic and your light. How beautiful, and how far you have come. It's amazing.
Yeah. And that my body is the vehicle with which it's expressed.
Yeah.
I need her to be speaking these words and to have the energy to get up and do this and to do all, you know, whatever it is that allows my spirit to express. So she is my partner and my collaborative vehicle. So thank you for allowing me to share that. And I just feel so blessed that I've had so many teachers and mentors come into my life that have been there at the perfect time. And what I'd like to share now is that that's the reason that this summit has evolved. That's why I was given this opportunity to facilitate it. And all these beautiful speakers, Eyenie is speaking on this summit, and she's part of this journey along with some other amazing women who are all here to support you. That if you're at a place where you feel like there's more to embodiment than what you're experiencing, that's why this was created. So please, you know, dive into all of these interviews that are available for you. All of these speakers have offered free gifts for you. Each one has her own unique magic, her own perspective, and so tap in to what resonates to you in your body, what's going to serve you best. Get the support that you need, and yeah, we're all here to support one another, and this summit is meant to support you in your body so that you can transform your relationship and show up powerful in your life.
Yes, and I love that you've called on all different experts that deal with this same beautiful topic in so many different ways with different tools and different perspectives.
Right, there's so much to it. It's rich. When we get past our bodies only just, carrying us around or dragging our bodies around, really, or trying to make it look a certain way, when we really start exploring how the body can be supportive in our lives, there's so many different ways that you can come from it, and all of them are awesome, and you take in what resonates for you, and that's my intention with this summit too. All the speakers are inviting you to hear their perspective and then go in, right? We're talking before about all the external. That's why I didn't want to call myself an expert, because I'm not an expert. I am someone that is constantly evolving and growing, and I feel that these are women leaders who are stepping into and playing with their edge and constantly opening themselves up to grow. But take what is out there and then ask, is this true for me? Is this going to support me and my body right now?
Right.
Because we're all different, unique, and we're all at different places on the journey, So, yeah, and
absolutely.
so much juiciness and so much wisdom that's here to play with. So I really encourage everybody, if you're looking to shift how you're experiencing your body, just really soak in this wisdom and play with what feels right to you.
I love that. Yay! Thank you, Darlene. And just to close this beautiful interview, I know you've shared some delicious tools already, but if you could just share, one of your very favorite empowered embodiment tools or tips to finish up off this call, what would that be for our listeners today?
Yes. Well, I have tons of them. I'm a tool collector. Some people collect coins, some people collect antiques. I collect personal growth tools. With my body, one of my favorite tools with my body to ground and connect is to get in my body right away in the morning when I wake up, before I get into my head and start planning my day, just to say hello to my body, to become fully present in her. And what I love to do is, first of all, I'm always barefoot. I'm barefoot right now while we're having this interview. I walk outside in the grass in my bare feet. I'll still have my beverage if I'm, drinking that in the morning. I walk and I connect my feet to the earth. And I feel the support of the earth underneath me.
Yeah.
I feel the grass and the damp dew that's there. It gets me in sensation. It gets me in my body. And then I energetically connect to earth. I send roots down from the soles of my feet all the way down to the core of earth. And it grounds me into this body, into this moment, that my body belongs here, that she's welcome here, that she's home here on earth. So the sensation gets me there. I visually and energetically go all the way down to the core of earth, and I wrap myself around the core of earth energetically. I'm here, And then I take that energy all the way up, and I connect to the vastness, to the source energy, to the heart of source. So I'm in my body. I've got the grass underneath my feet, and I'm energetically expanded all the way down from the heart of earth to the heart of source. So from my core, I'm radiating out. That's one of my favorite tools.
Oh, I did it right there as you explained it. That was amazing. and there really is something so powerful about just letting your body experience, right? I love that you are always barefoot. So thank you. That was, what a beautiful tip to close with. Thank you.
Thank you. And Eyenie, thank you so, so much for taking this time to allow my voice to be heard in this summit. I appreciate it so much. And I'm so excited to play with all of you with this summit and like I shared before, dive into the richness and the depth and the wisdom of these amazing women leaders who are here to offer you their personal stories and what it has been that has transformed them into creating empowered embodiment, and connect through the Facebook community. It's a wonderful way to travel the journey with other sisters. Let's do it together. So thank you, Eyenie, so much. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and we'll see you on the inside.
Bye.
Bye, Eyenie. Love you.
Bye, Darlene. Love you. Mwah.
Mwah.